Witnesses have been describing the moments a teenage boy got into trouble after diving into a pond. At an inquest in Ipswich, the coroner recorded a verdict of accidental death on Ashley Dorling. Despite desperate efforts to save him, he was pronounced dead when he arrived at the local hospital. Our chief reporter, Kim Riley, was at the inquest.
It was a hot July day a year ago, and three young men went to take a look at a pond that had been used down the years unofficially by local people for fishing. Now, 15-year-old Ashley Dorling was with his elder brother Gary and his very best friend, 16-year-old Liam Vineyard. Now, Ashley had never learnt to swim, and from the moment he started wading into the pond, he was in big trouble. The pond next to a new housing development where Ashley Dorling drowned. On the fencing, faded messages from family and friends. What happened here shocked everyone. In a statement at today's inquest, Liam Vineyard said his friend was going under the water, gasping for breath, screaming. At one point, he managed to support him on his shoulders, but had to come up for air. Gary Dorling had jumped in to help, but quickly got into difficulties himself. 1 minute Ashley was still struggling, then he disappeared. The water went completely still. Paramedic David Sexby and a number of police officers had roped themselves together, waded into the water and dived down in turn. The pond was about 8 feet deep with zero visibility. They were searching by touch, with many hidden dangers beneath the surface.
The message from today is that after such a tragic incident is the importance of people recognising the danger of inland waterways, the hidden dangers of tree stumps, shopping trolleys and similar dangerous things.
The efforts of the emergency services, police, fire, ambulance and an RAF rescue helicopter crew were commended by the coroner, Dr. Peter Dean. He asked the joint owners of the pond to discuss ways of making it safer, despite complaints that warning notices had previously been vandalised.
I'm very scared this is going to happen to somebody else. Very, very scared. As we heard in there today, that recently there's groups of young children and other adults still going down there thinking it's a good place to go, but it's not.
I think if the signs were there, he wouldn't have gone in there. That's what I said all the way along. If signs were up there saying danger, deep water, he wouldn't have gone in. And he would have been here today. I'm missing him like mad, and just wish he was here with us.
Rosemary Dorling, now she told me on behalf of the family how much she appreciated the efforts of the emergency services, everyone who tried to locate her son in that dark water you simply couldn't see through. Eventually he was recovered by a fire service rescue team, but by then, very sadly, it was much too late to save him. Stuart.
Kim, thank you very much.
Controversial plans to build a Tescos store in a Suffolk town have been rejected. The shopping giant wanted to open a store in Halesworth. There was a public inquiry, but the planning inspector ruled it would be out of proportion and harm the retail character of the town.
Drivers are being warned of long delays from today because of roadworks in Ipswich and in Norwich. The work has been timed to coincide with the school holidays.
Schoolwork may be over, but on the roads it's just beginning. This is St Stephen's Road in Norwich city centre, closed for 2 weeks whilst it's being resurfaced. Costing £400,000, the council says it's important the road is repaired to keep drivers safe. Duke Street roundabout in Ipswich, and the same old story. It'll be out of action for 10 weeks. The roundabout's being removed and replaced with a new signalised junction. Elsewhere, roadworks are popping up all over the place. Short journeys are turning into longer ones. With the schools out for summer, it appears to be a good time to make improvements to our roads. Catherine Nash, BBC Look East.
Dockers in Harwich will be going on strike later this week. The RMT union says 100 members at the port will be staging 2 one-day stoppages in a dispute over pay. The first action will start at 6 o'clock on Thursday evening. The union says ferry services could be affected. Plans have been unveiled for a memorial garden to the former Ipswich town manager Sir Bobby Robson. Sir Bobby died a year ago at the age of 76. The garden will be created in his hometown of Newcastle. There's already a statue of Sir Bobby outside the Ipswich town ground in Portman Road.
Campaigners trying to save a forest in Norfolk say the discovery of secret wartime bunkers could help them. The site is close to the edge of the Broads. Campaigners fear that much of Waveney forest could be lost to a planned new quarry.
This is Waveney Forest at Fritton. In the undergrowth, there is a network of bunkers. They are small and simply made, but would have provided cover for the men in Churchill's secret army, which was preparing to defend Britain in the event of German invasion.
It was deadly serious. They were trained to kill, for sure. If we were invaded, they had to do everything in their power to blow up bridges, derail trains and to kill.
There are plans to turn a large part of Waveney Forest into a quarry, and campaigners are hoping the discovery of the bunkers might prove crucial in their fight against developers.
Those bunkers that we have found are right in the middle of their main plant working area. We've seen the proposed plans, and that's where the loading up of the aggregate lorries will be right in the same area, so they will definitely go.
The campaigners argue that losing the bunkers would be unthinkable. Planners from Norfolk County Council say no decision about Waveney Forest will be made until the coalition government issues new planning guidance. Mike Liggins, BBC Look East, Norfolk.
What they've done today.
You're watching Look East from the BBC.
Now, some good news. We have a gold medal to celebrate. A physiotherapist from Norfolk who has less than 10% vision has won gold in the para-triathlon.
His name is Iain Dawson, and he only took up the event a year ago. This weekend, he was at Hyde Park in London for the biggest ever event. Debbie Tubby was there.
Iain Dawson, in the blue, is an elite athlete. A genetic condition means he has less than 10% vision. He's European champion. Now he's competing in the largest para-triathlon in the world.
On your mark!
In the 400-metre swim, Iain Dawson is tethered by his ankle to his guide. He follows his lead. He can't see in the water, hear or talk.
It can be a little bit disturbing sometimes if I maybe lose my guide and I'm not quite sure where he's turned to. Sometimes I'm lost for a few seconds.
The 10-kilometre cycle is on a tandem, hitting speeds of 40 miles an hour. His success depends on the sight and skill of his guide.
Sharp left coming up.
If, for example, we're going into a sharp corner and I don't know it's coming, it can certainly give you a bit of a shock, can throw you off balance.
Next, the 2.5-kilometre run. The faster the changeover, the higher the chances of winning. The athletes have to wear blackout glasses, so those with partial sight are put on an even keel.
Sometimes I feel quite disorientated, partly because I don't always know where I am on the course, even if I've walked it beforehand.
The para-triathlon and the main triathlon have both been held here this weekend in Hyde Park, the setting for the London 2012 Olympics. But it doesn't matter how well Iain Dawson performs, he won't be in the London Games. And that's because the para-triathlon is not included.
Iain Dawson not only won his category in Hyde Park, but he was the first Briton to cross the line.
Nice to see him running away from me in the start of the run.
Yeah, you were puffing a bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, it's a good result.
Iain Dawson finances himself for a sport he loves to inspire others. Debbie Tubby, BBC Look East, Hyde Park.
And we're staying with the sporting theme tomorrow.